starting off by asking each of our guests to just tell us a wee bit more about them and what they do. So Stuart, over to you.
Hi, well, I'm Stuart Milne. I'm the Start Team Leader at Business Gateway Tayside. So my job is primarily working with not just people who are thinking about starting a business, but all the way up to about a year and a half into their journey. So we don't just do that. That's where I focus, but we do work with any and all sizes of businesses, ones who have been established for years and years, ones who maybe have been working at a small level but want to grow a little bit, all the way through to the ones that want to really grow quite big. So we're a one-stop shop for everyone.
Brilliant. And can you tell me a bit about what you like best about what you do? Is there a story to that?
Well, I really like the interaction with the clients and the especially, and it's so funny. I suppose the story behind it is that I used to work in fitness and taught exercise classes, and to me, I stopped that because I'm not young anymore and picked up a number of injuries and things like that. But to me, it's the same kind of principle, which is someone comes to us and they're at the start of a journey. And it's up to me or to the rest of the advisors to kind of help them in that journey to get from where they are to where they want to be. So although it's one of these things that probably doesn't sound like it's quite similar, I found that it really is. And it's really enjoyable and it's fulfilling to help people get to progress.
Brilliant. And I'm asking everybody that comes on these slots just to tell us what their favourite thing is about Dundee and Angus, or what's your favourite local thing?
I was going over these questions, thinking about these questions with my girlfriend, and she goes, "You're going to say Dundee United, aren't you?" I went, No, I won't. I genuinely think what I really love about Dundee and Angus is the area itself. I love in Dundee, you can go 2 minutes out of the city any direction and you're in wonderful countryside. All the little areas are so nice. I think the people are really nice. I just think it's a very undervalued region. I mean, if you put Dundee and Angus, Arbroath, all these different places down to the south of England, people would think they were like heaven. But we're a little area of the world that sometimes gets underappreciated. But I think we all know our value up here.
Brilliant. It is one of the most beautiful places, isn't it? I think we are very lucky. I do very much enjoy being in Dundee and Angus. It's fab. What's your favourite time of the year and why?
Well, this will sound very sort of me-centric, but it was my birthday last week, and I like the sort of run up for my birthday where I always go away with my friends, which we couldn't do this year, unfortunately, all the way through to Christmas. It just seems like a nice little block. And although I'd much prefer the hot weather, I kind of like sort of the sort of anticipation for Christmas and all that sort of thing. And it's a nice lead up in the autumn weather and the darker nights and stuff. So yeah, that's my preferred thing. Although I can't go out cycling anymore, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice time of year, I think, isn't it? Autumn. It's sort of a little bit undervalued. I think the colours and all of that. And we are in a particularly odd couple of weeks where we're just in some more restrictions. And I've been asking everybody as I've been interviewing them this year what they're missing most during lockdown. And things have changed over the last few weeks for us. And you maybe have had, this might be birthday tinged your answer, but what is the thing that you're missing most?
I'm going to go back to what I didn't say for the last answer, and it's going to the football. Oh, I loved going to the football, and it's just not the same watching it on your streams with no fans and attendance. But get us back into the football. That's what I say.
I'm also talking to people and asking about changes to work. And I started off, my questions haven't changed this year, but this question started off by saying, has your work changed during COVID? Now everybody's work, I think mostly has kind of changed pretty significantly, but how have things changed at your end during this crisis, and what does the future hold?
Well, like most people, we're working from home at the moment, but I think, maybe an initial sort of culture shock, but we've adapted quite well, and we're still there for customers. still there for all the local businesses. At the start of lockdown, it was very much kind of that emergency help mode where people were phoning in a panic, and and we were there for them. We tried to be there for them as much as possible, and some really unfortunate situations out there, but we have attempted to assist. But now it's interesting, even compared to other regions, there's been a massive spike in people, thinking, I want to start a business. And, we were speaking about this and how this maybe compares to different regions. And I think the local, maybe Dundee and Angus, we haven't had major industries recently that have been as affected as they have been in other areas. And the local people kind of think, well, we'll just get on with it. We'll start our own new businesses. And it's great. I mean, I have to say, I do miss the client interactions, face-to-face. But, digitalisation, we couldn't do what we're doing now 5 years ago. It would have been a real problem. But doing things like Zoom, it's allowed us to stay connected with the clients and help them as much as possible. I mean, we do workshops over Zoom as well. And I must say, that we'd all prefer to be in the same room together because you get that greater level of interaction with people. But no, I think we've adapted all right. And, some of the team are desperate to get back into the office. Some are happy working from home. But yeah, we've just kept going along.
Brilliant. And when we are more freely able to get out and about, what would you say was top of your lockdown escape bucket list?
Disney World. I had it in my mind to go this year anyway with the new Star Wars hotel, and you'll see on the posters behind me. I'm not that much into Star Wars, but just all these new areas, and it's just somewhere nice to go. And that's what I would do the moment this is all behind us, I think.
Sounds nice, and a bit warmer too.
Yeah.
You're never. There's no age barriers to Disney, is there? That's for sure.
Absolutely not. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
If you had a message for people out there about things you've learned about the world of work and business, what would it be?
I was thinking about this a lot, and I do think the answer to that is people undervalue themselves. I've been in this mindset before where you kind of think, well, this is what I trained in, so this is what I can do. And I kind of felt, do I always have to do marketing in my life? Because that's what I studied at university. That was my first full-time job. And then I tried something else that I liked. I tried fitness, and that was great. But especially now, where it's a tough economy out there, people will have to think about maybe doing other things, maybe making their own jobs. And, I think people undervalue what they can do. And, we see that our admin team here at Business Gateway are fantastic, and I think sometimes even people in admin kind of think, well, I just do admin, but, they're speaking to people all the time. They've got people skills, organizational skills, all that sort of thing. So no matter what you do, don't just shoebox yourself into your current job. Think to yourself, I could do more with that. And if it is, finding your own path and doing your own thing in the business, at least look into it. And that's where we are hopefully able to help.
I love that, because I think a crisis makes people do things differently, and it does make us act differently, doesn't it? And it reminds you, I think, how resilient you are deep down inside. But it's the time when people start businesses or kind of change a business to kind of adapt because they've had to. So I'm not surprised that you're seeing real interest in kind of people wanting to kind of explore self-employment or wanting to grow their businesses, because either people are taking advantage of opportunities in the market, or they're being forced to do something because they've been made redundant, or kind of their job, maybe some of their hours have disappeared. So it's great that you're so busy and seeing such a big demand. How do people get in touch with you if they want to chat?
Yeah, well, there's a few different ways. I mean, you can go through our national website and all that sort of thing. But if you want to come direct to us, our phone number is 01382 443 400. You go onto the Business Gateway national website, and we were thinking about, what's the best email address? And really, it would one of our admin guys, their addresses are the ones to email for that initial contact to people. So it would either be pippa.cregan@bgateway.com or gregor.smith@bgateway.com. So hopefully I've said that so people can get the spelling as well. But first point of contact is our number, and we're happy to talk. But it is interesting because I find that you pick up things from people, and sometimes people don't realise how you can contact us. And there are people who don't want to phone. There are people who want to only communicate by email, or they would love to come in but they can't. So no matter what way that you want to communicate with us, we'll be able to communicate with you. We'll find a way.
Brilliant. And you talked about using Zoom and kind of connecting with people and also. So, are there things coming up that people can engage with your team on? Like, what are the sorts of things that are happening with you guys that are helping customers kind of think through things with you?
Oh, absolutely. So, first off, it's important to say that anyone who comes to us would be given one-to-one advisor support. So you would be assigned an advisor who kind of works with you directly. So there is that personal touch. But for the more sort of broad touch, we always do our website, our webinars at the moment because we can't get into the office. And we're aware at the moment, apart from our normal suite, which is things like basic stuff on marketing and business planning, that there are, things that are relevant to the current situation we're in. So some of the things we've got coming up so we've got our Emerging Minds sessions. Now, they're aimed at people between 18 and 30, because a lot of the time, I think younger people don't maybe realise, I can do this myself, I can start a new business. So we've got a series of webinars that you can book on our website. That's bgateway.events. And our next one will be on the 29th of October. Another one is, we all obviously know, it's great to be nice and positive, but we do appreciate and understand there's been redundancies around, and that's not a good thing, but we are trying to help give people some, something positive to go to look forward to with that. So we've got our redundancy to recovery workshops as well, to take you from that point where you maybe think, well, what's next, to kind of help them with ideas generation and understand how to get up and running on their own. And the other one, if I may promote something else, is that because we are big into helping young people, and I think sometimes that they don't realise that there is help there. We're going to be doing a networking event, and a networking event at the moment isn't really a networking event because it's on Zoom, but a talk we'll be doing with two guys called Stevie Baxter and Derek Suter, who people may know used to play for Dundee and other different clubs throughout the country. They're going to be talking about, how you can change your mindset and overcome the adversity that maybe you had this year with the changing economy, and realise you can do it and you can really, turn it around and start something yourself. And that will be on the 30th of this month, October, at noon. So again, get on the website and book onto that.
Brilliant. And I think I would just kind of add to what you're saying. And I was made redundant in 2008, and Business Gateway were a huge help in helping me start up in business. And it was definitely the best thing that I could choose to do. It put control back in my hands, and starting a business in a recession is not easy, but actually is gives you a springboard. It gives you something to kind of get your teeth into. It really helped me with my own business journey. So I would encourage everybody to kind of go and have a look at those events and engage with the team, because they are a good bunch of people. But Stuart, thank you so much for coming on and taking a seat with me. You had to bring your own seat, and you probably had to bring your own coffee. But it's been really interesting catching up with you. Thank you so much. Very, very much appreciate your time. And I hope that you get to Disney before long, as we all do. Hope we're all back to a bit of a normality, whatever that's going to be. So thank you for your time. If you're watching us, you'll be probably on our YouTube channel. So we've got a whole series of Take a Seat interviews on there with all sorts of different people throughout our membership. And if you may be seeing this on our social media channels as well, but if you want to drop in and see us on social media, it's at Dundee and Angus. And if you're interested in taking a seat, then get in touch with us. We'd love to talk to you. Thanks so much.